Hey everybody, in this video we are looking at example 4, analyzing trolley ridership in section 5, which is applications and modeling with quadratic equations of chapter 1, which is equations and inequalities in Algebra 2. This is all relevant to even pre-calc and calc, so let's get started. The iRide trolley service carries passengers along the International Drive Resort area of Orlando, Florida. The bar graph in figure 8 shows iRide trolley ridership data in millions. Okay, in millions. That's going to be important. That's like your units. It's like how many chickens? Well, how many millions? So you get 1, it means 1 million. 1.2 is 1.2 million, which is really 1,200,000. The quadratic equation y equals negative 0.00525 x squared plus 0.0913 x. I'm not going to read the decimals properly. I'm sorry. Sue me. Don't sue me, but like, that's silly. 1+1.64 models ridership from 2000 to 2013, where y represents ridership in millions and x equals 0 represents the year 2000, x equals 1 is 2001, and so on. Okay, got it. Great. Use the model. By the model, what are we referring to? The model is this, not the bar graph, okay? So the model is this right here, modeling. So over here, the word that they use, just to point out, the bar graph shows, it doesn't say it models. So little things like that, critical reading, okay? Use the model to determine ridership in 2011. Okay, so x equals 0 represents 2000, right? X equals 1 represents 2001, and so on. So in 2011, what are we going to use for x? We're going to use then, oops, highlighter. X equals 11. Compare the results to the actual ridership figure of 2.1 million. So they actually told it to us. We didn't have to look really in the table. They just gave it to us. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in 11 into the model right there and right there. Obviously, we're going to need to use a calculator, and you want to be really careful with your calculator because sometimes you have to hit the negative button after and you got to watch where you square. I would highly recommend that you practice typing this in the calculator and make sure you get the right results. I would use a calculator that you would typically use in class. Let me see. Oops. Can um I pull the calculator on the screen? Let's see. Um, open. Video, clock, doc, no. I guess I cannot. Sorry, I was gonna pull. I thought I could. And I feel like I've done it before, but I don't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't remember how I brought the calculator on the screen in the past. Cancel. Let me look one more thing. No, no, I don't remember. I'm sorry. So I'm going to talk you through it. I'll try to figure it out for next time, but I don't remember. Okay, so when we're punching this in the calculator and you're filling in 11, we have y equals negative 0.00525. If you have something like a TI-84 or a TI-89, I'm pretty sure with that one you could just straight up type negative 0.00525 parenthesis 11 close parenthesis squared or caret button, which is this button, raised to the second power, right? I'm pretty sure that you could kind of just sort of type like that. If you're using though like a scientific calculator, not a graphing calculator, kind of like the iPhone calculator where you don't really have the pretty print and whatnot, you might have to type 0.00525 and then hit negative, things like that. So play around until you get the right numbers, okay? Plus, that's not a plus, pull 0.0913 times 11 plus 1.64. All right. So from here, if you're typing it in the calculator, like I said, I would do um, a couple different ways. I mean, I might do 11 squared first, or if I know it, it's 121 times 0.00525 negative button, depending on which calculator you have, or negative whatever. Get that answer plus, and then you want this product. If you have a little scientific calculator, again, you're going to want to type carefully, but let's just test this out. For this part alone, just this part, if you type it in the calculator correctly, you should get 0.36905. So check if you did that part correctly. And then plus 1.64. If you didn't, just mess around with it until you do and pay attention to what you needed to do to make that happen. And then when all is said and done, the number on your screen, I wrote down what I got was 2.00905. Now, if they're rounding, like if I'm looking at how they're doing all of their rounding here, 1.8 million, 2.1 million, right? They're all kind of going out one decimal place. So I'm assuming they want me to go out one decimal place. So it would be 2.0 million ridership, right? 2.0 million is the ridership in 2011. But if you need to write that number out, it's 2,009,000, kind of like 50 for the ridership. Okay. So you just move that decimal to the appropriate place to make it 2 million since it's in millions, right? So you move the decimal to the right 6 times, okay? So I just want to make sure everyone knows how to manipulate that. So 2.0 million, which, you know, it's a little bit more than that, but really in the grand scheme of things, the $9,000 or people rather, the 9,050 people is kind of like a drop in the bucket compared to the 2 million. So depending on what you're analyzing and how you're analyzing it, it might be an appropriate estimate. So how do I compare the result to the actual ridership? Compare usually means to find out what they have in common. Contrast usually means what do they have to make them different. I do think that they kind of want us to do both in this sense though. So the actual ridership was 2.1 million. So the model underestimated the ridership by about 100,000 people, right? Or riders. So next part. According to the model, in what year did ridership reach 1.8 million? So again, I'm going to use this model again, but let's switch up a little bit. So I'm going to use the model again, but this time you're going to fill in 1.8 for your y value. So 1.8 equals negative 0.00525 x squared plus 0.0913 Am I on the screen? Yes. X plus 1.64. Now, again, for the millionth time, to solve any polynomial equation, we want to get it equal to 0. Even if I can't factor, even if I'm going to use quadratic formula, you want to get it equal to 0 first. So I'm going to bring everything to the left side. So I will get 0.00525 x squared, that became positive, minus 0.0913x. Now, subtracting 1.64 from 1.8 leaves me with plus 0.16 equals 0. I hope it's obvious that I'm not trying to factor that. I'm going to use quadratic formula, okay? That makes the most sense in this case. So if we do that, x equals, okay, again, I'm not going to go crazy right now, but negative, let's color code this. I'm not going to write this all out. Don't be mad, guys, but I'm not going to go crazy. Negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So b squared So negative b would have made the first one positive, right? So that would be negative, negative became positive. When I square here on the b squared, it's going to become positive as well. Make sure you use your parentheses appropriately. This is the a value. Make sure if you're doing this in a calculator, I'm going to show you what the number should turn out to be. I need you guys to try it, okay? And make sure you're getting the right answers, because when you're expected to do this on a test or a quiz, no one's going to hold your hand, okay? There's your C value. So you want to punch that on your calculator, and we're going to get two different answers when all is said and done. So maybe hit pause right now and come back when you're done. And the two answers that you will get, one for plus, one for minus, is approximately 2.0, and the other one is 15.4. Make sure you get that. So that means 2.0 is going to represent the year 2002. So in 2002 is one of them. And that's early 2002, I would guess. And also in 2015, right? A little less than halfway through 2015. So there's two times if it's a quadratic model. So in 2015 and 2002, the ridership, according to the model, is about 1.8 million riders. Okay? And never use a plus sign for and. Okay? And that is the end of this example. I hope you are able to get it in your calculator. This is important that you take a few minutes to try it out in your calculator. Make sure you're getting the right answer. If you did get the right answer in your calculator, first or second time, I think that warrants you giving yourself a high five, giving the video a thumbs up. If not, and you need me to show you on the calculator how to do it, please let me know in the comments. I will figure out how to pull the calculator on the screen from my desktop, and I will model it for you, but only if you ask, because I don't remember how to do it, so I have to look it up, and I don't feel like doing that right now. But if you want me to, I will. Just let me know. Any other requests for videos, just straight up ask me in the comments. I see it right away while I'm working over here. And I'm going to continue uploading. There's a bunch of videos in the next two sections, so I'm going to try to power through those. But these are really tedious. Sorry, they were kind of long in this section, but it's only about 4 videos. Apologies. So check the description box for links or the playlist. And I hope you found this helpful. That's it for now. Adios.